Yeah.
Yep.
This is the part where the groovy music comes in. And Eric complains a little bit. I bob my head. And we're back.
We're back, baby.
It's 8 o'clock. It's Tuesday night. It's time for the DNBA show. I am your host, Brendan Vogt. I'm joined by an all-star panel. Whatever.
No.
My co-hosts. Yeah, they're always on the show. It's Harrison Wind. He's above me.
Yeah, we are presented by Manscaped.
Your
fellas.
balls
Your
will thank
balls
you.
will thank
Your balls will thank you.
Flanking Harrison Wind to his left. One of the most creative minds and most insufferable hangs in all of Denver.
That's right.
D-line coach.
Oh, I thought that was going to be Adam. I never really realized the role that music plays in this intro. This feels very naked, very...
Most of the
very
show,
unsettling.
almost, it seems now. And below Eric, joining us from the DNVR bar on Colfax, hopefully bringing the Tuesday energy, it's Adam Matas. Adam, what's up, man?
I'm living my best here at the DNVR bar, as you can see behind me.
Looking good, man. That thing looks
Looking
sweet.
good.
Yeah, it's also given me a very interesting color, hasn't it? I look very orangish.
Well, now we know all the tricks you pull at your home studio to make it look good. Now we know it's all smoke and mirrors.
Hey, I was thinking I looked good, but you just confirmed that I do not, so now I'll be self-conscious for the show.
Yeah, we'll confirm. Do not look good.
You look different. I'll say you look different.
All right, I'll
The
take
shirt
it.
looks good. That much I could say. We do have some news to cover tonight, but we have a light and a fun show planned tonight. We're not alone. We're joined by not one, but two special guests this evening.
Oh, wow.
Please say hello to the dynamic duo at CBS Denver, sports anchor / reporter Romi Bean, and producer / anchor / digital video extraordinaire Ryan Greene.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What an extraordinary name pairing, I just want to say. Romi Bean, right? That's easy.
I
Good
know.
for you guys.
I think CBS planned it.
So we haven't seen any of you in 10 years, by my count. I miss you both. Romy, how you been? How are you holding up?
You know what? Just trying to stay safe. No, you know what? I mean, I'm good. I'm grateful that I still have a job. Finding stories these days have definitely been curious. I mean, I've done like quarantine neighborhood Olympics. I was at a sixth graders baseball practice the other day. I mean, we are scrounging, but you know what? There's still stories. Just trying to find them.
This is going to be the new bar for you, but if you want to find stretched for content, wait for segment 2 tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
can't wait.
There's no point in having Romy on the show if we're not going to also have Ryan. I mean, Romy's great, but they're a dynamic duo. I mean, so we got to... Yeah, I kind of messed that up. There's a point in also having Romy on. As a standalone guest, she's great. But they're better
It's
together.
okay. It's okay.
Two heads are better. It's Ryan Greene. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, it's been again, it's been weird not seeing you guys, not going through the playoff stretch that we went through last year. I've been working a little news, which has been fun, but I don't know. Rockies report tomorrow, so like hopefully sports is starting up again soon. But
Yeah,
then,
that's some good news.
Then news today comes out, so I don't know.
And will you get your power back tomorrow? Will you have your lights back as well?
This is the easiest way to not clean up.
True. Yeah.
Very smart.
It's the
Right,
equivalent
how-
of shoving everything in your closet.
Exactly. I can help
But
a
just
little bit.
by just recording in your closet.
Ryan, how have you been staying busy when you're not working? Are you a video game guy? What is your
Oh
downtime like?
yeah, I like video games. And now that they put the hoops back up on the nets in my neighborhood, I am there.
Oh, nice.
As you can see, I've gotten some sun lately. But
Well,
yeah, man.
Well, I can't see.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
look
true.
like a vampire.
But yeah, I actually got an Xbox the first week of quarantine. I was like, all right, I guess this is happening. I better get ready. So
Good call.
yeah, I've been a PS4 guy since that came out, but I was like, fine, I'll try.
I met a guy behind a McDonald's to buy a Nintendo Switch. Like
Wait, what?
3 weeks into the quarantine.
You set the scene on hold on.
Because
Whoa!
it was a
Just a
Facebook.
switch.
What did you pay in?
What kind of payment was it?
I mean, I don't want to get into all the details. I just felt like I could relate to Ryan on this one specific
Oh
point.
yeah.
When the quarantine started, I was like, I need to get a video game system in my life, and behind McDonald's was the only way I could make it happen for myself.
No, I get it. I got my Xbox behind a Taco Bell. It was different.
Romy, what about you? I have a feeling you're less video games and more like really cool, productive, holistic life stuff. How are you feeling your
Put her on
downtime?
the spot.
I don't know if it's super cool and productive, but you guys, if there was an Olympic sport for sleeping, I would get the gold medal every time.
First
I have a especially because as you guys know, like during season, we don't sleep. And then when they all start like overlapping. So I've really used this time to catch up on a tremendous amount of sleep. And the first person to really catch on to it was another photographer, Dave Willie. And Eric, our manager, was like sending me emails on Mondays. And he's like, look, I think Romi sleeps all day. I don't think she's being rude by not writing you back. I legitimately think she sleeps. What I do, I can sleep for like 14 hours at a time. It's not normal. I'm going to donate my brain to science one day.
My wife can't. That is a skill though, because I'm the same way. I can sleep in on a weekend if I have nothing going on I want to, but my wife cannot. Doesn't matter what is going on. 6 o'clock in the morning, she's up, and most of the time it's like doing some really complex and difficult project, and she just like goes 0 to 100. Unfortunately, my 2 kids both take after her.
Oh,
wow, dude! I usually can sleep super late. I live right next to a basketball court, maybe the one that Ryan's playing at. I swear to God, 7:30, 8 a.m. people are playing basketball outside.
Harrison's getting old, man.
He's getting
old.
I'm like,
Getting
can I
cranky,
sleep?
needs
Can
to
I sleep?
Harrison, you know what you got to
get?
get? This is like, I don't know if this is for old people or for babies, but you got to get a sound machine. My nephew had one when he was a baby because I live on a busy street.
Yeah,
it's definitely.
I'll have to.
No, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is the courtesy. If you're dribbling a basketball, especially in a neighborhood with like houses across the street, 10 a.m. You can't be doing lawnmower at 7:30.
Right. But it wasn't a problem when they took the hoops down, but they just put them back up. So back to getting those.
It's not stop those
Off of
youths.
Harrison's lawn.
So we only know the grind of covering one team, one sport here at DNVR Nuggets. You guys obviously those Venn diagrams, they cross over. You get really busy throughout the year. Was there any sense of relief? Was there any stretch of this that was welcome? And how quickly did that wear off?
Oh, thank God there was a pandemic.
No. But I mean, how have you adjusted to, like, we all have our hands full with sports at all times. Without it, was it panic? Was it shock? You've caught up on some sleep. That sounds nice. But how did you just sort of handle that?
No, I will say it's been really weird. But the one thing that, like, I did realize is how much time we spend driving places and waiting around. You guys know this. They say get your shoot around at 12:30, and I don't know, we wait there till 1, whenever they're done. And then, kind of for us, because we're covering all the different sports, then you'll try to hop to abs, but it may work or it may cross over or it may not. But I realized how much time we spend driving around and just kind of waiting on guys to be ready. So, I mean, that part has kind of been nice. The Zoom is really streamlined, but it just sucks not being there. You can't get the pulse of like what's going on. And at this point now, I don't know. For me, I'm like concerned, what kind of access are we going to have going forward? I hope it's not like this permanently, because I don't know. It's not fun.
No, I'm with you, Romy. And I've been thinking about this. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I never walked foot in a locker room again. I would not be surprised if we are never in a locker room again. So I think this whole thing is going to change sports journalism for every sport. It's going to change it dramatically.
Totally. And like you think with those, like you go into the locker room post game and it's awkward. For a female, it's a little more awkward, but like it's awkward.
Why would that be?
There's songs everywhere. And you're like, I'm the guy. I just follow the herd. I'm like, where are we going next?
You're checking Twitter at the ceiling.
Hashtag hot dog in the face gift.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go. but like, the players don't. It's just the players don't love it like either, I think. And I think this opens the door really to completely change all of that and to really distance it. So it's going to be interesting for all of us, I think, what happens, how we start covering it, what kind of access we get, because we have no idea. And if they wanted to shut it down, this is like the perfect point for them to be like, to crack down on it.
Hey, we did it without you, right? We proved you're not essential, literally. So,
but they would love that if they could, like, pick which player or which coach to give us and then say, okay, here are your talking points, and then they get to choose what questions. It's going to be wild, like you guys said. And it's not so much the being in the locker room questions, but like I've seen y'all just talking to the players as if they were people in the locker room, and that's what you're really going to miss out on, is building that relationship to show like, no, I'm just a normal person. I got to ask you questions, but that's where you can't really like joke around, and so that'll be different for sure.
For my writer peers here, guys, how essential is access to what you do? There are versions of this. We could write about and around this basketball team. access has changed a lot, especially as you've seen media kind of operate more as PR machines in certain markets and at times. Harrison, I know you're closer to the reporting side of things than what I personally do. Is access essential? I mean, if that was stripped away, how much would your job change?
Well, I think just like writing off of games and writing off the quotes that come out of games, it would be a lot more vanilla because, everybody would be getting the same stuff. I think what players say over a Zoom is going to be a lot more cookie cutter than what they're going to say, in a scrum where there's no video. And the best stuff that us writers and reporters get, it comes from like the casual one-on-one conversations. It doesn't come from the scrum where there's 8 or 10 people and cameras and a bunch of mics around.
It does sound delicious.
So I think it's gonna. I think just from like a reporting from a game standpoint, it could become a little vanilla.
Well, I think too, like a lot of that stuff you were talking about, Harrison, comes from the heat of the moment. We're in the locker room and they just blew it, or they just came back, and there's just that raw emotion that you get. That now it's like they get the cool off period. You come out and you're talking to a Zoom. You're not going to get those bites that, like you said, are like some of the best bites that you get.
Yeah.
But I also think at times, the access is so like oversaturated. There are so many availabilities. Some of them, and they're mandatory, right? And I almost wonder if there were less of these, would we get more when we do get these guys? I don't know if that's the case, but it does sort of feel like on any given day an answer might be lackluster because, well, they had to show up yesterday, they had to show up this morning, and they'll have to do it again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Am I misguided in that, Adam? Do you agree at all?
I disagree, actually, but because for this one reason, if you think back to all of the great sort of interview moments or where you felt like, oh, wow, I just learned something like that I wouldn't have learned, those, for me, at least 50% of them come from non-formal scrums. And, you go to a formal scrum and everybody's around, everybody's getting the same quote, and it's just very formal. It's not conversational. Whereas you're talking to a guy on the side and he happens to mention something that you're like, oh, this opens up a whole line of questions. I feel like that's primarily where you get stuff, and that's the portion that gets cut out. If you talk to two players and a coach after every game via Zoom, again, there's just a formality to all of that it's not nearly as conversational. But I will say, we talked to Jamal Murray a month ago now. I don't know. It's been several weeks, and via Zoom. And I was actually surprised because that was, I thought, one of the best conversations I've been a part of with Jamal. I guess it was a scrum, and I was very surprised by that. So maybe I'm just wrong.
Well, I think part of it too is like sometimes we catch these guys and they're like, I don't feel like talking, right?
Right. Oh, man.
So if they don't have to talk as much, maybe they are more willing to kind of open up.
Ryan, I want to follow up with that to both of you guys because you cover all of the sports. Which sport, and we'll do the four main ones, but which sport say is the players are the most open and maybe eager and conversational with the media, and which ones are the most reserved in your experience?
I would say the Rockies are the most reserved. The baseball players do not like to talk, and they like after games they'll just disappear. You have open locker room, but they just disappear out of the clubhouse. They'll go watch tape. They'll go literally work out again to avoid talking. They are. I'd say of all of them, they every once in a while, like when Cargo left, it was a bummer because Cargo was the chatterbox of the clubhouse, and so I think with baseball they're the least. And I kind of think with football, but that's probably because there's 53 guys on the roster. There's always someone to talk to about something, right? And like even a guy who got a couple plays in the last game, you can talk to him and nobody wants to talk to him and he's excited to talk to you. Yeah. I just think the volume of players makes it that you can get so much more stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, guys, well, let's move it along. We do have some news to cover before we hit that first break. So Woj and Mike Singer confirmed each other's reports, combined to give us a picture of a news update this morning. Two members of the Nuggets traveling party that would be headed to Orlando tested positive for coronavirus on Saturday. Since then, at least one other member of the organization has tested positive. Harrison, you recapped this for us on the DNVR.com. Can you just take us through a quick bullet point of what we learned and what we need to know?
Yeah, well, the Nuggets practice facility is closed. It's locked. Nobody can get in right now. And mandatory workouts across the league for the 22 teams were supposed to start tomorrow. So that obviously will not be happening for the Nuggets. And there's hope that they can open it up again later this week before they leave for Disney World next Tuesday. They leave for Disney World in a week. So this was supposed to be a week of mandatory workouts across the league, but the Nuggets, hope to do that later this week. But this is concerning. The thing that I think we're most worried about like in this stage before teams get to Disney World and even when we get to Disney World, is this thing spreading within teams. And that might have happened with the Nuggets here. 3 guys testing positive since Saturday. So I think it is concerning. And, we'll just have to see how it develops over the next couple of days.
Adam, just about a week of sort of training or a shortened training camp, if you want to call it, under these conditions with these guidelines they put in place. How helpful would that have been? How important would that have been? And how much does it matter to miss out on that?
It's impossible for me to say for certain, but these workouts were individual workouts, not team ones. Right. And so I can't imagine they're that valuable. But the thing is, everything about this is going to be fragmented. We knew that even before there was these positive cases and they had to shut down. Even if they were to come in, there was going to be all these hoops that everybody had to jump through to get to this point. And then, by the way, Denver isn't the only team experiencing this. We saw Sacramento has had the same thing. The Brooklyn Nets just reopened their facility today. The New Orleans Pelicans are experiencing the exact same thing. So I don't know that they were incredibly valuable. I think for me, the story is more about just this is a momentum moving in the wrong direction,
right?
League-wide, and that's the concern for me.
But was it inevitable? Ryan, have you been surprised by the reports of how many players have tested positive? Has that influenced your perspective on this idea of a bubble?
No, I was not, for the test, I was not surprised that the players were going to test positive. These guys, they say they're quarantining, but like celebrities and athletes' idea of quarantining is totally different. They have groups of friends that are like 20 people large. They're always over at their big houses.
Yeah, I didn't have to cut my entourage off.
Right. Like we didn't have to do that. Yeah. It's not like, I guess, my barber can only come once a month now. It's like, it's not that. So I'm not surprised guys are testing positive. It's just like, it's the standard that's been set. Remember, it was one guy who who had coronavirus and the season was shut down after that. So it's like with all of these positive tests, that's when we're like, okay, well, like what does the NBA do now? If the Nuggets have to shut their facility down, does the NBA allow them to go? Do they push it back a week? And so it's more like we were getting so close and we were all amped up for basketball, and then you realize what kind of a situation this is and how many variables there are, and this is just one of those variable situations.
Yeah, so I think the league, like Ryan was saying, expected this, and I don't think this is like necessarily deterring their plans at all. But I thought Nick Nurse had a great quote today that kind of summed up how a lot of people are probably feeling right now, and he said something like, "We're just all trying to get healthy and get to Disney World." Like, that's just, what we're thinking about. We're not worried about workouts or anything. We're just trying to get healthy and get to Disney World.
Perfect mindset for competing for a title. Right? We just want to get there alive.
You just want to get there alive.
I think the question is, if we're a couple days out from going to Disney World and guys are still testing positive, what happens to those guys? Do they get left behind? Can they join the team in Disney World? What happens to them?
Right. You're right. They built in that sort of period, right, for testing positive and then being able to quarantine. But if more positive tests roll in late, that's a good question. I have a thought, and we've touched on this in previous shows, and I really hope it doesn't sound too callous given the reality of these are positive results for coronavirus. But is there a concept here of like team immunity? Like, is there any sort of advantage of, hey, some of your core guys, they're going to be at risk for getting this. Well, they're getting it now. They've got that built-in quarantine period. Maybe you can head to Disney World knowing like they're immune, right? Or at least for the time being, they're less likely to contract this. Romi, is that too dark of a thought? Is that too callous?
What's funny is I think a lot of, and especially like that conversation is really going on with college football right now. Is herd immunity the way to go at this point? Because the other thing that I kind of think is a lot of these guys, first of all, outside of Jokic, there hasn't been like a huge name star, I don't feel like, that's gotten it, one. But two, you think about these guys, they're all in their young 20s, they're all healthy, and everyone reacts differently with coronavirus. by the way that they have kind of reported and everything, it seems to me that nobody has had a terrible case where they're in the hospital on a ventilator. You know, these guys are young. They're in the best shape of their lives. They have, you know, all of the resources. So does that change how the league looks at it? Because is there a guy that has been truly bedridden for 2 weeks? I mean, it doesn't seem like it, right? So I think that if those guys keep getting sick like that, a little bit of a cold, I think leagues kind of think, oh, well, maybe we just keep pushing it. I keep referring the PGA. I mean, every single week since they've been back, they've had at least one guy withdraw mid-tournament because he tested positive for COVID, which is also funny. They just get these immediate results right now, whereas regular people still takes like 2 weeks. But anyway.
There's a shortage in Denver.
But you know, the PGA Commission was saying, we have to keep pushing forward. I think there is that thought that the only way out is through, and until it becomes like all these, you know, if LeBron's out and Jokic is out, well, yeah, then we got problems. But until that happens, we're just going to keep pushing through.
Yeah. All right, Wayne, take us into sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, man. If you had a final thought.
No, I was just going to say, I think Romi has a point, and I think that's what a lot of people think, but it's tough for me to get there just because we don't know what the long-term effects are. We don't. And I think Adam has sent me a quote earlier this week that said Rudy Gobert was like still doesn't feel 100% from having it in March.
He can't taste anything.
Yeah.
Wow. So, it's kind of scary.
Man.
Like yes, everybody is recovering, it seems, and everybody's asymptomatic, but you know, we still just don't know.
I love it. Like every day, it goes from we get the schedule out one day, we're like yes, and then the next day is a COVID day. We have to be like no. We have to be like, are we into this? Are we not into this? I don't even know. I have no idea where I am. I definitely want basketball back. I don't know if I'm being selfish. If I am being selfish, I don't care. That's a selfish way to be. But I just feel like we need basketball. But at the same point in time, the problem with COVID is that like when you first heard about COVID-19 and coronavirus, it was like synonymous with the word death. And you're like, oh my God, like we can't, like I remember when Tom Hanks got it, I was like, wow, is Tom Hanks going to die? This is insane. And he seems fine, but he's also not a top level athlete that uses his lungs pretty heavily. Although I've been told
he runs a lot in the Da Vinci Code market.
Is that right?
He's always mid-sprint.
Yeah, but it seems like apparently there are soccer stars that have come back in soccer, obviously.
Played really well.
Yeah, and they're playing well. So I don't know.
Here's one thing, a mental thing, because so much of coming back from injuries is mental. I'm sharing. I guess maybe hopefully I'm not oversharing, but I had a heart surgery like 5 years ago. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I had a bad heartbeat. But my point was, after that, I could never tell when my heart was beating too fast or when I was just exercising. Because, you know, when you have something with that, you're always afraid that it's like, well, I am running.
Death, yeah.
So, am I dying or am I just tired? I can't tell. And I imagine it's similar for something like this where it's respiratory, where you're like, am I pushing myself too much or am I just tired because I'm playing NBA basketball?
Yeah. All right, let's take it into a break here. Oh, sorry, Romi.
No, it's okay. Please. Okay, so both my parents got coronavirus. But they're obviously older. And what has been crazy, and again, this is so different than we're talking about these professional athletes, but the recovery has been, I mean, it's been crazy how long it has taken them. And I mean, my dad's been out of the hospital for 6 weeks and he's still on oxygen. And my mom's not on oxygen or anything, but she gets like winded going up the stairs. I mean, it's the recovery process, and obviously they're older and they're in an entirely different population of people. But the recovery is nasty. And I imagine with these guys, if you're running 48 minutes, that it's probably going to start hitting you at some point because it scars your lungs.
Yeah, man.
Wait, are your parents Tom Hanks and Rita? Just to be clear? No? Okay.
No, but that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Well, let's break the wind if you're ready.
Yeah, let's do it. So, we were workshopping this at the bar the other week, and we were watching the Blades fight. RK actually coined it, but we've got the Vanilla Porter Jr., right?
We do.
We've got the Jokic pack.
We do have
what about the Monte Mosaic for the Mango Mosaic?
I don't know. I think it's it's 4 out of 10.
Adam's not impressed.
That sounds like an arcade.
I feel like
They probably sounded better after a few Monte Mosaics, to be honest.
Yeah, I liked it. See, already picking up steam. But make sure to pick up the 15-can sampler, the Jokic pack from Davidson's. They have pickup and delivery. Also, check out the Mile High City Copper Lager from Breckber as well as all the other Breck Brews.
I think the Malone drink would probably be an IPA with like 3 shots dropped into it. That probably sounds more like it's a tough, difficult drink.
Yeah, whatever Breck Brew's darkest beer is, maybe the Michael Malone.
How about Mountain Beach, which is just Bol as a sea monster in the background? I'll workshop it.
Also, guys, these days the sports landscape is constantly evolving. This week is no different. Luckily for all of us, DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, has us covered. And for a limited time, DraftKings Sportsbook is offering a sign-up bonus for up to $1,000. We've got golf this weekend. We also have a WGT event, but we've got real golf that we can bet on. We've got European soccer, of course, tons of other stuff on DraftKings, who has you covered. And to top it all off, DraftKings Sportsbook is offering their best sign-up offer to date right now. You don't want to miss this one. Remember, DraftKings Sportsbook is not one of those sketchy offshore websites that you probably used in the past. You never know if you're going to get paid. You never know if you're going to get your money. DraftKings Sportsbook is totally legit. It's got direct deposit, so you know you're going to get that.
Yeah. We need music, man. These reads are tough without music.
So naked, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even get any jokes in there. He just read the read. That was so lame.
Make sure, guys, to download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code DNVR when you sign up. For a limited time, all new users can get a sign-up bonus for up to $1,000 when you use code DNVR. So use code DNVR when you sign up to get a $1,000 sign-up bonus. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado-only bonus is comprised of a first deposit bonus and a first bet match, each up to $500. Deposit bonus requires a 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
There we go.
Perfect. Just in time for the transition.
Yeah, perfect. Nice work.
And we're back. Segment 2. We promised to deliver more laughs than segment 1. I'm really glad to have Romi, and just Romi by herself, although it's nice to have her. I'm really glad to have Romi on the show so I can ask her about one of my favorite hashtags on the internet, Romi face. Can you talk to me about the genesis of this modern art?
Yes. You know what? I'll tell you. I don't know if you can see this, but I've been doing it since I was a child unknowingly.
That's
wow.
Yeah.
That hides on my set.
It's amazing.
But
she's got a cutout for every year of her life. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, my mom is really into cutouts. You should see all my dance cutouts, all for the awkward faces. I'll bring them in one time,
please.
But I don't know. I just I hate taking cute pictures.
Right.
And I think I'm just a really awkward person, and so
I was going to tell you that.
No, yeah.
Didn't know.
It is my specialty, and I think it's just I don't know. Every time I post, I see a picture and there'd be a good one and then a funny kind of ugly one. I was like, I want that one. I just putting it on there. At one point, my dad actually asked my mom. He's like, "Well, she just post a nice picture." Sorry, Dad. But I don't know. I just feel like you got to have fun with yourself, and they're just way more fun than being like, "Look at me, I'm cute."
This is true. Well, we appreciate your decision to look that way. One of the local legends here in Denver, a true great, Nikola Jokic. Not sure it's so much of a decision as it is something that just happens to him whenever he's photographed.
It's 100% true. Some people are not photogenic. I count myself in this, and it's definitely true of Jokic too.
He is in a perpetual Romi face.
You'll watch him smile for a photo, and he'll be smiling, and then you'll see the photo, and he's like,
exactly that Vine game.
I think he's like me too, where I make a lot of weird faces. I don't even realize it. But if you would I just make a lot of weird faces, and he definitely fits in with the fam.
This is a true story. The Getty, the guy who's the photographer for Getty here in Denver, he hates Jokic. He calls him his least favorite athlete ever. And I'm like, why? What is it you don't like about him? He's like, every photo's terrible.
You just got to go for first place with the worst Jokic picture.
It's extremely on brand, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, we've come up with a brand new game here on the DNBA show to celebrate two of our favorites, Romi and Yoki. Let's bring up that graphic. Super producer guy. It's time to play Yoki Face.
My
I've ever seen.
What is Yoki Face? You're likely wondering to yourself at home. It's like it's head to head. It's 1v1. It's Battle Romi Face.
Battle Romi Face.
We're gonna pull up a Yoki Face for reference. We'll have two competitors go head to head. Romi will be our judge, and she'll also give us her take on the Yoki Face. So let's cue up.
Expert. I like it.
Let's get that first picture. Let's get that first picture of
It's like having Dr. J judge the dunk contest. Oh wow!
All right, so we'll go Wind versus Mares on this one.
This is a classic.
Wind versus Mares. Wind, are you? Oh, all right. Can you hold that long enough for everyone to screenshot? Okay, perfect.
There's gonna be a lot of photoshops.
Oh no!
A lot of unfortunate photoshops.
Can I pick?
Please.
Okay, that absolutely goes to Mares because there was eye expressions. I mean, you were really into that one.
Get the eyebrows into it.
The eyes are the key. The eyes are the key.
They're the window to the soul, as you well know.
For Yoki Face number 2, I want to see Eric versus Ryan.
Oh, baby. You ready for this, you sucker? Oh,
wow. My goodness.
I'm built for this.
Do you have to make the double chin?
You do. Points
so
if
hard.
you can.
Yo, yeah, you gotta get like.
That's glorious.
I'm gonna go with Eric. Ryan.
Yeah, in your face.
You know, in Mrs. Doubtfire when he's like, I can do a good impression of a hot dog. Ryan's what you look like.
In your
Thanks
Yoki
face.
All right, I'll take.
I just realized that winning means you made the uglier face.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is addition by subtraction.
Who embarrassed themselves the
If you lose, you might want to lose.
That's true.
Yeah, Harrison and
for the next
Ryan
wrinkle in the game. Yeah. This is it. This is the game. So let's go to the third picture. Me versus Ryan for this one.
All
right.
This is a classic, absolute classic.
That's pretty good.
A little longer. I think we all need to see it.
That is making me laugh.
I don't know who to
tough.
pick. Ryan, I feel so bad. I'm voting against you again, but I gotta get
Oh, wow.
This is reverse bias. She knew if she picked me, it would look biased, so she had to go against me.
Unbelievable.
Look, someone already tagged me in a picture of Jacob Wool on Twitter, so it's all up for me. All these,
Man, that's
I don't think.
You know,
I'm the
someone
attractive
with
one here.
gigs and gigs of Romi Face on their computer. Like, I thought I would get just a bone tossed his way, but no.
You've seen every face she has.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Win versus Eric. Let's do this. Battle Yoki Face.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh god.
Wow, there's a lot going on there. Look at the eyebrows. Wow. Very bird-like. Oh wow!
Yeah, regurgitation.
This is a knockout right here.
Plus, Eric's on his free internet again, so.
No, I'm just that good. I seem frozen because
the pixelation helps.
Yeah, right.
I need to see it again. Harrison didn't.
Can I see the picture again, please? Can I get another look at this one?
This is great. Look at that bottom. Look at that. Oh my god.
It's like he took an uppercut, but he just definitely didn't.
It's true. It does look like he's being punched.
I think I am going to give this to Eric again.
Nah, definitely Eric. Come on, that's a great point.
Yeah, in your Yoki face.
I don't know how Jokic was doing that without showing teeth. That's what I couldn't get in that one.
Yeah, I gotta say that was pretty painful to hold for a long period.
That's the only reason they didn't give it to you because you had too much teeth in there. I'm like, no, he has no teeth. No.
I couldn't
That's
figure it
right.
out.
You got to commit to this.
That's what makes him elite.
All right, I need Ryan versus Adam.
Okay.
Oh boy, the battle royale.
Wait, why don't you get? Hold up. Why? I have a new contestant. It's in the arena. That is correct.
Yeah.
This is the good stuff.
Versus Ryan Greene, you have to make the face that you're about to see.
Let's do it.
Does he have no idea what's coming?
You ready? You have to copy it. Oh, this is gonna be great.
I've waited for this day.
There it is. Let's see it. Man,
I gotta give it to Ryan because he did the double chin. Brandon didn't do the double chin. I need the double chin there.
Take
face is much more like Jokic's face than mine. That's true.
It's like a celebrity shot from the CEO.
That's what you get for being good looking, Brandon.
Yeah, take that.
All right, so how many? So who won twice? Eric, you won twice.
Yeah, me obviously.
All right, I won twice.
There you go.
I guess that puts us in the finals. But I think we should change it up because I've only seen Yoki faces so far, producer guy.
No.
But I know that we've got more queued up than just Jokic.
We're getting
I am so
All right.
Sass.
For all the marbles.
Wow. There's a little cross-eyed thing going on, too.
Ryan took the picture, so Ryan, you have to help me be a voter.
Man.
I'm going with, I think I'm going with Brendan on this one.
Son of a...
He held the cross-eye for so long.
Eric had the angle, but if Brendan if you looked at Romi dead on, that's exactly the face.
I'm disgusted. I didn't want to hear your explanation. You guys are banned from the show.
I'm sorry.
Get out of here. Beat it.
I'm tempted to make you guys hate me if I didn't pick you. I'm sorry.
It's funny, when you're not at Nuggets games, Romi, people are constantly confusing me for you. So it's like it's been a problem.
I will take that compliment. Thank you.
This just came to me, some impromptu hosting here. Who is the most photogenic athlete off the top of your heads?
Oh, man.
Michael Jordan is way up there.
The most photogenic of all.
I feel like all athletes except Jokic are extremely photogenic.
That's
man.
Maybe it's the lenses, but like, man.
I don't know, but don't we have to go with like a Gabe Landeskog on that?
Yeah, he's just beautiful.
Well, right. So. There's photogenic, and then there's artwork. Like,
right.
It's a big difference.
Which would you say I am, if you had to guess? It has to be Gabe Landeskog.
You're photorealistic.
That's right.
All right, most photogenic player on the Nuggets.
Man.
Monte.
Photogenic. Monte's pretty good. Will Barton's got a good smile.
I got two. I got Barton and I
Barton's
got that's
dope.
G.
Oh. G's got, Michael Porter Jr. on a fresh cut day. Not bad.
On a
fresh cut day.
He's got a great smile.
I feel like Monte's just always got a happy smile, though.
Yeah,
I know. But it works.
Yeah, Chuck's guy.
Could be Michael Malone.
All right, well, we'll put that game in the DNBA Hall of Fame. It's crowded. We put every single game in the DNBA Hall of Fame. So.
Let's simultaneously retire it.
What's up, Ryan?
Let me ask you a question. Guys, Michael Malone's hair in quarantine is magical. Where did it come from? I mean, is he going to keep it?
Was anyone else 100% convinced he was a bald by not choice guy? I had no idea.
Hands down, I thought he reached that point in his life.
It's luscious. It's looking good.
He's got better hair than like a lot of NBA coaches who are holding on to their hair.
I'm going to be honest, when he's coming for your crown even. I don't know, maybe that's taking it too
mine.
Far.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go for that.
Well, that's it for a new Hall of Fame legendary game. But we're not done with the games for segment 2.
Wow.
Speaking of Jokic face, a great freeze frame.
I know, it's too bad.
So we're gonna run. Yes, we're gonna run another Hall of Famer back. True fans of the show remember the glorious Gran Destino Floridian or Yacht Club. We're running it back. I got a list of stuff. That's really all it is. It's just stuff.
Nice.
Oh, that makes
and
sense.
they're gonna let us know. They're gonna let us know where it belongs. Ryan, Gran Destino Floridian Yacht Club, Tiger King.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Where is the Tiger King staying?
Yo, it's the Yacht Club, but it's 2 a.m. and I need a hotel room for me and someone.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be entertaining, but you don't want to stay there.
That's
right?
not where the one season is.
Yeah. Not a lot of groundbreaking stuff in that scene. It's just it's your dirty little secret.
Not a lot of cool cats or kittens.
Romi, have you seen Tiger King?
Oh, I have.
Did you stay awake through the whole thing?
I did. I tried to watch the extra episode. And it was terrible though. I gotta put it in the Yacht Club too. I mean, I don't know where else it goes.
The Tiger King hype was just peak quarantine. Like, there's nothing to do. This is just a little bit entertaining. Let's all jump on the train.
I just wonder if Tiger King came out like at a normal time. If it would have been.
Yeah, probably not.
No. Tiger King belongs outside the bubble.
No, Tiger King is at the hotel where the media is going to be staying.
Right.
Roommates with wind.
There's a couple tents outside.
All right, Romi, you can go first on this one.
Boy.
Destino Floridian Yacht Club. Skinny Jokic. Skinny Yoke.
Oh, that's so tough.
Is it though?
People feel differently
easy.
about this one.
It's so easy.
Do we have an official number? Have we on how many pounds he actually lost? I saw 40 from someone.
Yeah, but from where are we tracking?
Yeah, that's true.
Is it 40 from November or 40 from when we last saw him?
Right, 40 from November was when we last saw him.
Look, if he truly has abs, then I'm putting him in Destino because come on, he's got.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's a surefire Grandestino. Surefire.
No doubt about it.
I do like the idea of counting your weight loss from your heaviest weight, even if that happened to have been like
10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I've lost
I'm down
70 pounds.
70 pounds, yeah.
I've lost 70 pounds at one point in my life.
Okay, Ryan.
Come on.
Grandestino Floridian Yacht Club. Books.
Oh, wow. The classic debate.
Like reading, you know.
Yeah.
That's the Floridian. It's like
Fair,
yeah.
fair,
It's like sure. It's like you're obviously bettering yourself, and it's an intelligent answer,
needs
but
it?
no one wants to read a book. Let's be
Tell you
real.
what,
Come on.
Sometimes
I haven't read any of these.
right.
either.
They look great. They look great on the shelf.
I only have 2 books. Romy. Disney World itself. Grandestino Floridian or Yacht Club.
Disney World itself. Well,
Depends if it reopens early.
tell you what, Disney World's in the Grandestino for me.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it is the happiest place on
It is
earth.
the happiest place on earth. And, when I was in high school, that's where we would compete for our dance nationals, and it was like there couldn't have been a better place. We definitely stayed whatever was worse than the yacht club, and nonetheless, I still had a great time.
Yo, but
When
so
you
when
sneak
was the
that
last time you
flex in,
paid for a ticket into Disneyland or World? Because that changes the whole conversation.
That's true.
It's like $100 a pop now.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
it's way more than
I'm
that.
going to World, not Land.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Land is Yacht Club. World is Destino.
Yeah, World is Destino.
Yeah.
I think every vacation is inversely correlated to how expensive it was. So, like, if you have to pay a bunch of money, it doesn't matter how fun a thing is; it sucks.
Yeah.
That's why I
That's the
strongly
tightest
recommend
answer
going
I've
to
ever heard in my
vacations
life.
as the child of someone else. It's definitely the way.
Since I've been on my own, I can't say I've taken like a great vacation. I'll be perfectly honest.
They don't exist.
True.
All right, Colorado. Not even really Colorado, just regional food. Green chili, Ryan. Grandestino Floridian Yacht.
Only one answer.
Yo,
Ryan.
Grandestino, get out of here. Green chili.
Love
It
it.
goes good on
Penthouse.
everything.
Penthouse
Not
of the
just Mexican food.
Grandestino.
Throw it on some steak. Throw it on it's good. Throw it on some waffles. I bet it tastes good.
I've done that.
God bless you.
Yeah,
God bless you.
Oh, it's so good.
Romy,
Grandestino.
Okay.
Oh,
does anyone in this room dissent? Is anyone out on green chili?
No.
Green
No,
chili.
it's great.
No.
We
Green
can
chili's
have an
great.
argument on red chili.
All right.
yeah.
Solved.
Half and half, not bad.
Christmas.
Christmas in parts of the country is no.
Okay, Ryan. Dinger. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, this is for both of you, but we'll start with Ryan. Dinger, the anthropomorphic purple triceratops.
Yo, that's outhouse. I ain't giving him a red.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kidding me? Nah, Dinger is no matter what hotel you stay at, he's the one where you like walk out at 2 a.m. and he's just at the end of the hallway like looking down.
And Dinger's there for a furry conference.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
Oh, it's so
my God.
grimy. No. Dinger's the scariest thing. It just seriously look at him dead on, and you will see the pits of
Yeah.
hell.
You know when you can see him dead on? It's in the 9th inning directly behind home plate.
Yeah, because that's the only way he's going to
Drives
get
me
camera
nuts.
time. The camera tries to avoid him every other time.
Yeah.
So someone put it great. I can't remember who put it. I think it was Nick Grote. He said Dinger is the Marlins man of mascots. He's like trying to get into the back of this thing.
That's so good.
It's so good.
Romy, do you concur?
Yeah, I gotta put Dinger in the yacht club. I thought,
Ding.
you know what? This like poll came out, and you know they're all nonsense, but it was
Right.
like the best mascot.
we
by
saw it.
region.
We actually spent a whole show on it. If you
We were upset.
We actually have a super mascot in Rockford. What's happening?
What's wild is Dinger actually has a cool story. Like they found a
So
Triceratops
cool. Yeah.
skeleton when they were building Coors Field. That's so cool, and it just doesn't work.
It's so true, man. Dingo should be, also dinosaurs are awesome. So
Yeah.
a bunch of different things working for it, and it still sucks. It needs a facelift. Do you guys remember when Pierre the Pelican was too scary? So they made him like friendly, and now he's corny. They need to make Dinger scary. They need the opposite.
Listen.
They need to make him like a little menacing.
You know those
I'm
lifelike dinosaurs
available.
that they walk around? They need that, right? Like all the just come out behind corners. That would be so cool.
I asked Rocky's PR several times if you know how they have the tooth trot. If I could do a dino race with Dinger in my dino, they never said yes.
The Rockies are cowards. Do it, Rockies.
Come on, Rockies.
I don't
No,
see
yeah,
a downside.
Gold, right
Call
there,
me,
gold.
Rockies. I'll make this happen. I can do this.
Okay, Romy. Grandestino Floridian Yacht Club. Cats.
Like the animals?
Yes, not the movie.
You have to
Or,
play. You have to
or
play.
yeah, sure. However you want to answer. It's
All right.
open-ended.
Some of you may disagree with me, but I'm putting them in the Grandestino.
All right.
Dang it.
And I will tell you why. The reason I like cats is because now I love dogs, but cats are kind of a-holes. And what makes them so great is that you have to earn their love. Like dogs will just give their love to everyone. With cats, it's like you got to put in the work so that thing isn't scratching at you. So I admire that. I admire.
Isn't that
their
why they
dedication.
suck, though?
No, cats are
Sorry,
great. Cats
is
are
that
great.
too much?
I'm with you, Romy. Cats are great.
Cats are great.
Can I-
They're just so underappreciated.
They are. I don't know who hates it. Like I don't hate any animals. Except
I'm
for,
allergic
like,
to cats, so they.
You know what?
I'm not fond of bats currently, but
Oh, yeah.
Humans kind of suck. Humans are awful.
Yeah,
humans suck.
I'll tell you what's underrated. Wild birds. Have I told you guys about my bird?
Didn't ask you. Yeah, thank you. I don't know who did that, but good call.
That's the universe evening out itself.
Instead of crying Jordan, or instead of giving him the Jordan face, just booted him from the whole call.
So are you literally saying go out and catch a wild bird? Is that what you're saying?
You don't catch them. You coexist with them by feeding them in the feeders in the bath, and it's incredible. They come out, they take a bath. You can watch them. They have personalities. One blue jay just moved into my tree thanks to the bird bath.
It seems like a rental.
But
Save
That bird has
You're like-
no regard for you, one way or the other.
Save it for
Bird
11
Corner.
PM Twitter
Bird
about it.
Corner,
That is not
sponsored
a-
by
that's not a
Manscaped.
relationship.
the bird definitely doesn't
birder.
care. He picks out the sunflower seeds and throws them on the ground and makes a huge mess. And it's
When we finally give Adam his own list, it's just going to be Jokic and birds, just over and
I'll tell
over
you
and
what,
over.
my dad had an African gray bird for a while. My dad's old; he's
Oh
been
my
around for a
God.
hot minute. And he said, like, the bird used to just it mimicked the doorbell ringing, and it would do it all day long. And they were like, "We got to get rid of this damn bird."
Yeah,
Like,
I had a
someone
bird.
was at
It
the
was
door.
terrible.
Yeah,
I would feel bad if I had a bird as a
You
pet.
should. You should.
Yeah.
Hey, get a fly.
He's
Yeah.
confined to a cage.
There's a penguin, but like
I don't feel like there's a single good story about somebody owning an African gray. They live to like 80 years old. They impersonate everything. It always ends up poorly. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing about birds is like you want to make this like an 8-9 year commitment max, because 3 weeks in you're just like, oh, you just sing until you die. This is horrible.
And they're very high maintenance.
Yeah.
Very
All right, we got two more. Ryan, White Claws.
oh
Where do they
man, White Claws. Psh. All right, so I'm gonna put this one in the Floridian. You really want to go Yacht Club because it's that grimy and just you get
Yeah.
like
It tastes like chemicals.
Yeah, it tastes like chemicals. It's not, but you get drunk. It's
Yeah, Floridian's the right call.
It's like
It's like I
Like,
don't
it
want to
works.
be into it, but like,
yeah.
it's not bad.
if I was a broke college student, Grandestino all the way. It's not even, the 2-for-1 deals you'd be getting on that stuff. I get it.
It's
Yeah.
so-
Took Four Locos away too early.
Four Loko made a hard seltzer, and let me tell you, don't get it.
don't go for it.
No,
It's more loco than you.
I saw
than you
PBR hard coffee the other day. You guys should
Yeah.
get that.
well, PBR tastes closer to coffee than beer as it is. So.
I've never drinking a PBR and thought, I wish they made other beverages as well.
right. Man, I need more.
They should get into the hard seltzer game.
While I was watching NASCAR one day, drinking a PBR, I thought, the seltzer would be great.
Okay, last one, Romy. Tom Cruise.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah.
Very
You didn't
intriguing.
expect
I bet
that,
young
did you?
Romy and older Romy have two different.
I know.
opinions.
You know what? I just watched Mission Impossible 2 the other day. Mission Impossible 2 Tom Cruise is Grandestino, but current Tom Cruise, I'm putting him in the Yacht Club. He's so cheesy.
Wow,
I
what a
can't.
downgrade.
Wow.
Because now Tom Cruise jumping on the couch, like that's Yacht Club.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Nothing grand
That's
about
true.
his height.
Oh, a short joke.
I had Mission Impossible on this list, so that was pretty. The last Mission Impossible whips ass though, so I'm back in on top.
Mission Impossible 2, by far the best one.
Oh, two's
not gonna fight you. Not gonna fight you
on that. Okay, last one for both of you. The Game, Grandestino Floridian Yacht Club.
Oh, very meta. Very meta.
Oh wow. With or without music?
Yeah, it's all without music.
just the concept of the game. Come on.
No, this is good. I'm going to put it in Grandestino, but I tell you what, it doesn't have a long shelf life.
No.
Not about 3 more months.
Right. It's the owning the bird as a pet of games.
Those 3 hotels will be a great answer to a NBA trivia game.
Oh, dude,
in
exactly.
several years.
Exactly what it is.
And I will definitely get that answer right. Definitely.
Because of this game.
I like it. I like all the games we played.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Perils of live television. I was going to do the steps. Do we have someone for this?
We've got somebody. We've got somebody.
By the skin of our teeth. The rundown's alive. Let's welcome if he's ready.
He's ready.
Phil.
Let's
go. Welcome back to the program,
man.
Phil.
Let's do it.
Yeah!
Phil, are you ready to climb the steps?
I'm ready. I've
With
been here
2
before, but I would
Sherpas
like
this
to come back. Hey,
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Have you heard this new Haynes song, The Steps?
What's up?
Oh, he's so on delay.
This is brutal.
This is
Well,
wild.
this is going to go poorly.
Not going so well, eh?
Let's see what.
This is the
what
perils
happens.
of live TV. This is great.
Honestly, this is a segment.
Y'all know how our live shots feel now sometimes with our delays. It's like, uh-oh.
Well, but
Yeah,
you
no,
guys are like, you prepare for live television. That's like
would
your
think.
job.
You would think.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll probably have to lose Phil. It's
All
tough.
right.
Oh, wait. No, are you back with us?
Yeah.
Wait, is he live?
Let's do a sync
Am I here
test.
now?
Yeah.
You tell
Yeah,
us.
I think that's better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do some kind of test, Brandon, before we dive in and we find out it's screwed up again. Phil, say hello right now.
I'm trying.
There we go. That works.
No, I don't think that was it.
I don't think it.
I think that was just good timing.
Swing and a miss. We tried.
All right.
Phil, we'll get you on tomorrow, Phil.
We'll talk to you
Get on
again. We'll
tomorrow.
talk to you later, Phil. Okay, Ryan Romi, that was the steps. What do you think?
Grandestino, baby. Oh wait, is this a new game?
They were gonna use you guys as their helpers. You could have etched yourself into steps lore or ridicule, but you're safe. Neither will happen.
Thanks,
I guess that's it
Comcast.
for tonight, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, Ryan and Romy. It was a blast.
Man, thanks
So
for
fun.
having us. What a blast.
This is an
Anytime.
awesome show. Y'all are so chill and it's so laid back, and that's the best part.
Well, you're both welcome on anytime.
Oh,
And also,
we are
laid
definitely
back
gonna
is
cut
good.
that for a soundbite for sure.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
Cut
what it
that.
is. Yo, like I can't tell you, like so many outlets on the internet try to be like TV and all that stuff. The best thing you guys have working for you is you're not TV, and just keep
No,
doing
we are
that.
not.
Keep doing that.
We
Like,
understand our limitations.
Yo,
baby.
keep doing it. It's awesome.
I love the
90%
game.
sure that's a compliment.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I promise you. As someone who works in television, that was a compliment.
Anytime there's games, I'm in, and I got to say, those were some of the best games I played. So
Dope.
Grandestino,
Some would
baby.
say.
Grandestino.
Big thank you to the Dynamic Duo. Thanks to all of you for watching, commenting, laughing. We'll try the steps. We'll try it all again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, be good.
You guys hear the music? I'm doing the outro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear it. Oh, we hear it.
We'll do it live.
We'll try it live. Oh. It's a great jam.